Well, an AEW blew off a stick of dynamite this past Wednesday night on TBS. And we're going to talk about that program briefly because, I was disappointed. It's not often I go in wanting to like something with AEW, right? Usually I know I'm going to like most things Punk and MJF does, and otherwise I'm just seeing what's happening. But I was emotionally invested in wanting to like the first match on the program, the Owen Hart tournament, Samoa Joe and against the Joker, the wild card, who turned out to be John Morrison, or in this incarnation now was calling him Johnny Elite. Because remember when he was Johnny Impact, Johnny Superstar, Johnny, they started that with him, what was it?
Nitro.
Johnny Nitro, years ago. As a matter of fact, to the point, remember one time he called himself Johnny Spade?
No, I don't remember that.
That was when he first went to the WWF and they were switching his name, it seemed like every week. And one week, this was, my God, when did he first go there? This was back in 2000.
2003, 2004, somewhere in there.
4 or 5-ish or whatever. Yeah. The point being, if you look at it back, they gave him 2 or 3 different names and then settled on whatever they were going to settle on. But we had a guy here in OVW that John Morrison had worked with named Smooth Johnny Spade. He's a local guy here, and he was pretty good talent, but he wasn't under contract to the WWF, but we used him quite a bit. He had a job here. And point being, Morrison came back to OVW for something while they were, I think it was just he was going up and making those shots and he was still living here in Louisville. But we ribbed him and told him, because Johnny Spade had finished up by then and wasn't wrestling for OVW anymore. But he had called and we knew he was coming by to visit me and Danny Davis and whatever. So we told John Morrison, hey, Spade's coming. He's fucking hot. You were on national TV with his name. Who knows what he's going to do? If you see him, just fucking duck. And we're persecuted poor Morrison all day that Johnny Spade was going to come and fuck with him over the name. And Spade did come, and we couldn't keep a straight face. But anyway, his name here was Johnny Elite, and that didn't help any. And when I first saw this go in the ring, I said, if they don't have any plans to bring John Morrison back, then this is a great name to come on national TV and have a good match and put Samoa Joe over. If they do have plans to bring him back, then that's a horrible way to debut, and like they've debuted so many other people that they could have gotten use out of, and they became losers from the start. And people were into both guys because they like Samoa Joe and they know who Johnny is. And Joe manhandled him. He stayed strong. He did his shit. Johnny didn't seem like he was all the way there. It didn't click. Is he rusty? Has he been wrestling a lot? How long has it been since he's been in the ring with Joe? Years? Something didn't come together. And I hate, because I like John Morrison. And he's married to Frankie Monet, Taya Valkyrie, who we liked her also. And they just screwed him over in the WWE, but this match didn't work. And at one point, and a lot of people caught this on Twitter, and I wished fuck he hadn't done it. But Johnny goes to the top rope, Joe's on the floor, and Johnny has to, with both hands, motion 3 times for Joe. Move over, move over. And then he did the flip off the top, flip twisting thing, and still went right past him. And first thing that Johnny, along with everybody else, learned in OVW was don't do shit that you can't do. If it ain't there, don't do what you were planning to do just because you planned it. And that's what he was going to get that in, and Joe wasn't in the right place, and he's on camera going, come here, move in, with his hand. I'm like, oh, fuck. At the close of the thing, they kicked it up a bit. Joe hit a great shoulder tackle, and Johnny took a 720-degree bump, and Joe just looks mean, and he looks like he's manhandling you. That's why he's so refreshing. in the wrestling business. But finally, to go home, Johnny gets out of the muscle buster and hit a Samoan drop on Samoa Joe and flipped up to his feet and went up to the top and hit 425 degrees of 450 splash. It was thunk thunk. And got a 2 count and then did another flip, but Joe raised his knees and hit the muscle buster 1, 2, 3. I felt bad for Morrison. He's better than that, and it didn't work. But we didn't have time to dwell on it because within seconds, here's Lethal, Sanjay, and Satnam Singh. And they jump in the ring, and Lethal's got the fake lead pipe, and they hit Joe in the arm, and 3 of the job guys made the save with chairs, and the heels bailed no contact. The afterbirth was rotten. But your thoughts on this, and try to remember Johnny's a family man before you.
No. I'm not going to. I actually surprisingly liked it a lot more than you did.
Well, so I've seen him be much better.
Yeah, look, he's an older guy now. He hasn't been regularly doing anything for a little while. And Joe is a hard-hitting guy with a hard-hitting style. I thought Joe looked great. Yeah. Joe looks great in there. I mean, my biggest problems were the things you pointed out when you could see him on camera telling the guy to move. I mean, it's hard to ignore that when you see it, when it's right in front of your eyes. I hate shit like that. Just do something else. You don't have to do your flip at that point. Other than that, it gives Joe a big win. Tony Khan gets a wild card with some name, and we'll see if they ever bring him back or use him again.
It wasn't probably the best inaugural outing for somebody that wanted to come back. But again, their standards are lower than mine, as you just mentioned. I knew your standards were lower than mine, so.
Hey.